Namaste. I'm greatly honored to speak to you all today, and I'm very grateful to be one of the speakers among such established ones which have spoken before me and will be speaking after me. So when we think of a classroom, we often think about a blackboard, some desk, some students and a teacher who they might or might not be listening to. But today I'm going to talk about how we can learn beyond these classroom walls and how action is key. So as teenagers, we all have very big dreams. We all aspire to be future billionaires, drive supercars, wear expensive watches, sit courtside in NBA matches with DJ Khaled or Drake. We aspire to be a lot. We basically dream a lot. But the problem that we often face is how to get started. Today, I'm going to tell you all my journey and how I got started. So I come from a family of businessmen. I've seen my father and my grandfather go to office every day, early morning, and come back at 8, 9, oftentimes at 10 and 11 p.m. as well. So I always had this motivation to become an entrepreneur. I always aspired to do business, be an entrepreneur, earn money. So I started accompanying my dad to factories and construction sites. Over there, the first thing that I noticed and got overwhelmed by was the overall framework of the business and how the operations work. The second thing that I noticed and got really inspired by were the blue-collar workers. In short, blue-collar workers are basically manual or skilled workers, and currently they consist of over 80% of India's non-agricultural workforce. I got inspired by the hard work that they put in, but I was also quick to notice the lack of protective gear. For example, protective eye care goggles were not present. They were forced to do work in dimly lit areas and work which required precision. This can significantly impact their eyesight. And another thing that I figured was in India and all over the world, blue-collar workers struggle to get a fair daily wage. In that scenario, we can't expect that business owners will provide healthcare to them, especially eye services. I also figured through interactions with these blue-collar workers when I used to visit these sites that they lacked basic healthcare knowledge. They went to doctors only when there was something very significant that happened to them. Even though government hospitals provide surgeries for almost free, I believe that prevention is better than cure. And if they don't know about how they can prevent it, or they lack basic information, for example, if they have a power in their eye, but they have no idea of that, and they don't know that we have to put spectacles, otherwise it may increase in the future, they would never be able to prevent it, and it could lead to significant diseases. So this is a point where I learned that business could be beyond product. Business could be also service, and why not social service? So this was a point where I founded Eye Care Equality. In simple words, what we do at Eye Care Equality is go to different sites. They could be construction sites, schools, or factories, and we go with a team of qualified doctors. We check each and every employee of them. We check their eyes, and we give them free reading glasses or eye drops as per their need. For example, if they have a power or they have redness or itchiness in their eyes. I thought that we will only cater to blue-collar workers. That's why the logo is blue. And the name has been given a lot of thought into. So, Eye Care Equality. I also sounds like I, as in me. So, it really shows the true essence of the business and the idea behind it, that I truly care about equality. Why should a blue-collar worker not have equal access to healthcare like we all do? Moving on, I thought that the best medium to give them these services and so that they can avail these things is through actually going on ground and creating real impact. Creating, for example, awareness would probably have reached my parents, friends, my families, and maybe a little bit more people, but it could not have changed the life of real blue-collar workers. I also thought about other ways because this sounded very tedious and tough. So I thought of why not donating the money and then others could use it because they were at a much larger scale. But the satisfaction and happiness that I would have received from doing it on my own would not have been matched by donating money. So moving on to the problems and challenges that I faced. Firstly, I thought that if I've created an organization where we provide everything for free, there's no harm to the factories. They get publicity and they get all the services for free. Why would they not approach me? I thought that factories will automatically approach me, but you know what? I was dead wrong. I learned it the hard way, but no one approached us. We had to do cold emailing, cold calls, take references from all the volunteers' parents, take references from my parent, and then we used to get access to factories. Another thing which I thought was not possible is that I could pursue entrepreneurship at such a young age. I always used to think this is a passion of mine which I could probably explore when I'm in college or even after that. However, with the resources that we have in today's world, I think it's quite possible. You just need an idea and which you're truly passionate about and a lot of courage. Moving on to the real impact that we have created. So on the slide, you can see my best friend, Vivan Very. So it was just me and Vivan Very in the starting. And now we've successfully expanded to over 15 volunteers, which are all high school volunteers. We have done over 2,175 eye tests. We have distributed more than 778 reading glasses and 425 eye drops, all for free. And we have also prescribed 480 distance glasses and worked in 9 locations in 4 different northern states. We've also raised around 3,70,000, which is around $4,500. Going beyond, I want to create something which is almost automated, where I can help blue-collar workers in a more seamless way and a more robust way, because right now it's all manual. We identify a factory, we talk to the HR team or the owner themselves, and then we go back and forth, and after months of planning, we can host an iCamp. And I also want to research for blue-collar workers to understand their problems in more depth so that I can actually help them in a further way if possible. Moving on to action. I think action is key, and everything that I've said so far wouldn't have been possible without action. As high schoolers, we get a lot of opportunities, but if we don't take action, the opportunity goes to waste. As Indians, I think we are quite protected and privileged because we don't have to pay our college tuition fees, or like in the West, people start working from the age of 16, they work in college and they also pay for the college tuition fees. We don't have to do that. So it makes all the more sense that you get out of the classroom and actually go into the real world and work, because there are some things that you can only learn practically. And I also want to talk about how action is key. Taking action on a specific topic is very important. So there are X number of problems in the world, but how do you decide on one? The main problem that we face while thinking of this is which problem to choose. So I'll do a quick activity to show that we all care about different problems. So I would like to ask you to raise your hands if you transformed to a vegan after the vegan movement. So not a lot of hands there. Number 2, I would like to ask you to raise your hands if you stopped using plastic straws. Okay. Number 3, I would like you to raise your hands if you started using cruelty-free products. For example, the ones which do not test their products on animals, or they don't derive them from animals by harming them. And lastly, I would like you to raise your hand if you have started switching off lights and saving water and energy when not required. Exactly. So the whole point of that was different people raised hands on different topics. So they care about different topics, and choosing one topic on which you want to take action is important. Taking action on, for example, solving world hunger is not the goal, but it could be as little as your, for example, passion for a specific SDG, or, for example, you like dogs and cats, so you could help the stray dogs and cats. Moving on, so when I undertook the project of eye care equality, I had minimum exposure. I got some exposure at Summer at Doon Leadership Program, and in order to gain international perspective and meet with other co-founders, I applied to LaunchX. LaunchX is a quite prestigious summer program for business and entrepreneurship, and the course for which I applied takes only 80 students worldwide. The application process, to be honest, was quite rigorous and daunting. I had to create a video explaining what all I have done and why I want to attend. And the prompts made me go into self-doubt and also made me self-reflect. Because there were questions like, explain yourself in 3 words. There were questions like, what do you want to be known for in 5 words? However, I got selected and I got the opportunity to stay at the University of Michigan for a month. Over there, I met so many different people. It was so diversified that, interestingly, in my own team, the one you see on top right, I had one teammate from China, I had another from Taiwan, and one from the US. So it was quite new to learn about perspectives and how people from different countries think about the same topic. Over here, the main takeaway was that even if you're 15 or you're 50, learning doesn't stop. And just because I'm giving this talk today doesn't mean that I know everything. And learning is a continuous process. Moving on, I would also like to talk about another company that I co-founded. So this is also action-oriented because 2 of my friends, Chaitanya and Avyam, and me, we all like debating, MUN, and we were fond of business. But because we took action and founded a model UN of our own, we could expand our company to over 3 countries, and we had committees ranging from FIFA, Naruto, to also the conventional ones like UNSC. This was also a platform which gave teenagers a place to get out of the classroom and actually talk about real-world issues. It helped them to understand what diplomacy is and also how organizations work. In order to, also we received a lot of recognition for the same. We had around 50 online articles. We got featured in 2 news medias, and we also got featured in the Samvad magazine. To conclude, I would like to say that school is definitely the most important. Basically, school helps you make the base. For example, I made the muscle to do all this through school. For example, if you have an exam, you know you have to work hard on the days prior to that. If it wasn't for the school, if it wasn't for the discipline that I learned in school classes, I wouldn't be standing here and I wouldn't have been able to do any of this. Secondly, I would like to say it depends on how much you can extract from places or how much you can make of your resources. School, university, college just puts you on a same level field. But for example, from colleges, some people go on to do greater things in life, whereas some don't. So it's about how much you can make about the resources and how much action you take. Lastly, I would like to say that action is key, and don't do something because you just think that it will give you fame or it's just for the clout. Do it because you truly care for it. And when you're stuck on what to do, just go back to what you actually care for, and that's where you will get started. Thank you.